All right, here we are again, and we are back for the workshop. We are on the first day. It's the second hour of the first day of virtual anniversary specials. So, this is what we're doing. Today, we're going to work on the song Cherish, and I did play it. I'll probably have time to play it again. Um, were you taking notes for some of the changes? Did you hear some interesting things when I played it the first time? Okay, because that's, if you can hear what's going on, then you get to know what your organ can do so that you can make the changes as well. All right, so Cherish is in A1 through 8. Um, I started, before we do this, let's do the roadmap. Let's do the roadmap, okay? Roadmap is so that you know where we are going. This is a 4-page song, and I highly recommend that you put them all in a row so that you can see what's going on.
Yes.
So you do it by verses, all of the first page. The second page you do, Kelly, he's stealing all my, he's stealing my markers. That's okay, you can borrow them, I just need them. Second page, line 1, line 2, line 3, you have a first ending and some dots. All right, so you're going to make those dots a color. I don't care what color. Why? Because your eyes will follow the colors long before they actually see what's going on with the dots. All right, so where do those dots take you? All the way back to the beginning, correct. So between the 4-4 and the first F, you're going to make that color, same color, so you know where you're going. I can't get it for you right now, Elsa. I'm out. I'm so sorry. I will get it for you after class. All right, now you're going to do all of that first page, page 1, or line 1, line 2. At the end of line 2, put a colorful 2 and an arrow down to the second ending so that you know the second time you're going to skip the first ending and just drop down to the second ending. Okay, then we go to the bridge part. I'm beginning to think that man has never found the words. And that's the bridge. Go to the next page, all of the next page. The last page, you have one measure at the top. And then you have 2 double lines. Double lines always means the end of a section. And then some instructions as to where you're going next. Use a different color. What does it say? DC al coda. Da capo, back to the head of the song. DC means go all the way back to the beginning. So use that same color so you can follow all the way back to the beginning. So you're going to have 2 stripes, 2 colors at the beginning. But you have 3 verses, so if you follow the verses, it tells you exactly where you need to go. All right, what color haven't I used yet? Because it says al coda. That means we're looking for the 2 coda symbol. The 2 coda symbol. So we're going to do verse 3, all of page 1, page 2, first line, second line. Aha, second line. Between the first and second measure, you have a 2 coda. So I'm going to make that a 4th color. Now, codas only send you forwards. You never go backwards to a coda. Coda means tail, tail end. So the coda sends you to page 4. Make that the same color. And if you need to make an arrow forward, so you know codas only send you forwards, then you will play the coda and finish the song. The 2 coda is on page 2, and it goes to page 4. And then you finish the song. Any questions on the roadmap? I could have picked an easy song with 2 pages. I don't know why I did this. No, I just like the song. Just like the song. Okay. Now, once we do that, I am going to add some notes and I'm going to add some chords. So let's do that first. Let's just get right to it. Back to page 1. Second measure, you may put a 7 on that G minor. G minor 7 is F, G, B flat. Third measure, that's an E flat chord. I'm going to add some notes to the right hand. You're sitting on a G and you're going to add F, and you're going to add these like in the second half of the measure, an F fish on the top line, and then next to it, angle down, you're going to do a C chicken on the third space. Last measure, first line. You're going to do an F on the top line and a C on the third space. F, C. Okay? Now, when you get to the second line, change the chord from G minor to C7, chicken 7, and repeat those two notes in the right hand, F on the top line and C on the third space. You're bum bum. All right, now the F is fine, the G minor is fine. Let's go to the next line. Third line, you have an E flat chord and you're holding on to a G note. You are going to add the F and C again. F on the third line, C on the third space. You got lots of room to write that in. Third line, second measure, cross out the G minor and make it a C7. And repeat the F and the C. Repeat the F and the C.
Are those supposed to be like quarter notes?
Play it the way you hear it. Yeah, just bum bum. They're just the bum bums. Okay, no more changes until all right, second page. Second line. Mold you into someone who could. All right, the B flat is good for one count, not one note, but one count, 2 eighth notes. So beat 2 over the E, put an A minor, alligator minor, C and A. Beat 3 over the D, put a G minor, gorilla minor, G and B flat. The next measure, right after that 2 coda sign, beat 1, put a B flat chord, butterfly flat. You know what, Mr. Kelly, I'll just give you a copy of mine when I'm done. Okay, so that you, because I know writing is difficult. Third line is fine, fourth line is fine, last line. The last measure on the second page, the F chord is good for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the C for sound, put a D minor, dinosaur minor, or D minor 7. Third page, the B flat is good for 1 measure. Measure 2 over the A for the word make, put a G minor, G minor. The E flat is good. Next line, the C is good. Over the second measure, put a no chord, NC, no chord. That's just any 3 in a row for 1 measure. Oh, I could say I. No chord. Line 3. Third measure, you may put a 7 on the D if you want. That would be C and D. Line 4, no changes. Last line on the third page. The D, and I know I'm going kind of fast, but that's just because we have a lot to do. The D minor is good for two counts. So F, E, D, and E are all under the D minor. Beat 3, over the F for the word touch, put a B flat, butterfly flat. The G minor, you may put a 7 on it. Okay. Next, the last page. Let's go to the second line. Second measure. Cross out the B flat. Beat 3 is going to have an F, and beat 4 is going to have a B flat. So it's one chord per note. And I do. And that's going to repeat for the rest of this. So over the line 3, over the A is an F, over the B flat is a B flat, then the C is already there. Same thing at the end of line 3, cross out the B flat. Over the A is an F, and over the B flat is a B flat, and then the C is good. Same thing on the fourth line. Cross out the B flat, over the A is an F, and over the B flat is a B flat. Now the last chord on the page is an F. This one is important if you want to have that really, really cool ending that we did. If you remember what it was, you're going to make that an F6-9. It's a 5-finger chord. But why would I care about an F6-9? Because that last word, cherish, is the word, and the association is singing this. They are in 18-part harmony. Well, we're going to put them in 5-part harmony, okay, by using an F6-9. Here's your notes. F as in fish, G as in gorilla, A as in alligator, C as in chicken, and D as in dinosaur. And you are going to be on a barbershop harmony. We'll get to that in a minute, but that's what gives you this ending. Ooh. Isn't that pretty? And I played one finger, but the chord and the harmony gave me that really beautiful full chord. If that's the only thing you learn from this, you were good. Okay. Now you need to know where the presets are, so let's mark the presets. Now the reason, if you don't have presets on your organ, mark these anyway. Because what you're going to do is take notes on what one finger change can you make at that point. Okay? So even if you do not have an instrument that has all of these programmable presets, mark where these changes are so that you can say, okay, here's where I want to do this, or here's where I want to do this. All right. A1 is actually an introduction. Now, I did not write out the introduction. If we have time at the end, I will give you the notes for the introduction. Do you remember what I did there? I played a chord, and then I played a guitar strum. And I played another chord and did another guitar strum. And I did that twice. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you what that is. That's A1. A2, and that's why A2 is the first one on the list. A2 starts at the beginning of line 1, where the singing comes in. That's A2. Then you're going to play till line 3, measure 2, A3. That's your A3. Yes, right before you do the word you don't know. All right, now, go to the second page, third line, first ending. At the end of the first ending, put A4. Because you really want to make those changes A4, you go back and start the song again. So that's A4. Now this time when you get to A3, you're just going to go right through it because you're already on A4. You're going to play the whole thing on A4. Page 2, third line, second ending. Right before you start doing Oh, I'm, you want to go to A5. Let's go to the third page. Line 2. At the end of the first ending, you're going to go to A6. Where the no chord is, correct. And it doesn't matter if you do the no chord first or if you do A6 first. Doesn't matter. Yes?
May I, on page 46, of the third page, the A6 goes where?
Line 2, end of the first measure, where the no chord is.
I got
Like
it.
the same place that the no chord is.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to page 4. The top of the page where you have that one measure and then the 2 lines and the DCL coda,
Yep.
put A7. And that's going to take you back to the third verse with A7. And you want to just get that done before you actually go back and play that. Let's go to the bottom of page 4. Last line, where the quarter rest is, I want you to put A8. A8. The last line, where the quarter rest is, that's where you're going to put A8. So the beginning of the last line is where it goes. Okay, so now you have where all the changes are going to be made. Hopefully you took some notes when I played it the first time, so you can remember what some of those changes were. All right, now if you have, wow, I've got several preset pages here. Whoops, this was not the right one though. If you have a marquee, shoot, mine's on the front desk. No, it's on the computer desk. It's on the computer desk. It says it, and it has 110 written on it, and it's got Cherish presets. Okay. What I'm using on the Imperial, and what most of you are going to use, are going to be a basic Latin or Latin full band at 110 beats per minute. The most important thing is,
I was the first one there at Havana. The parking lot was full. There wasn't any parking because they had a golf tournament or something.
Oh boy.
And there were golf carts everywhere, 2 and 3 to a stall.
Oh
People
my.
were parking on the curb to the entrance to the restaurant.
Wow. Oh, Penny, I'm so sorry. Wow. Did you find it? Yes, she did. Okay.
Dawn,
Yeah.
would it be helpful if you tell us if this is an A organ that you're giving directions to or an
This
E
is an
organ?
A organ.
Okay,
This
so
Imperial is an A organ, which means
Okay.
what else works on this? The Prestige, the Sterling, the
The Liberty.
Patriot, the Liberty, the Symphony.
Inspire.
Okay.
No, the Inspire is an E organ.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the Inspire, the E organs are going to be your fanfare, your journey, your Inspire, the Rialto, the Marquis, the Grand Marquis, the Aria, and the Aria 22. Okay,
Yep.
so you guys have more choices, but I'm keeping it as basic as possible so that everybody can do this. But if you have the Marquis, you might want to try My Love 8-beat. And I think the Inspire has some of these too. Music to Watch. That's a good one. If you don't like the Latin, you might want to try Contempo Folk Style or Basic Folk. These are just suggestions. You might want to go to your Guitarist 4/4, which is smooth guitarist on the smaller instruments. Latin guitarist would also be okay. Or pop guitarist. Or you can do the Latin full band. I think that's pretty much what I'm doing here, especially if you've got the smaller ones. Okay, so the most important thing to do when you are making an arrangement is find the right rhythm or music style. Always work left to right. Once you have this, the rest of it is just whatever the arrangement is that you want to do. What kind of arranging tools do you want to use? Now, why am I starting with A2 on my sheet? Because that's what starts on the written page. A1 is just an introduction. So I went backwards to fill in A1. That's why A1 comes in between A2 and A3. So A2 is going to be your most important one to set up. Okay. What you're going to do is find a basic Latin, and it's basic Latin 1 for those of you that have more than one Latins. And then you're going to go to your rhythm preset or your vintage and go to number 7. Why? Only because I'm going to change a lot of stuff, but that gets me started with a choir. But I don't want that choir. I'm going to do a lot of changing. So this is going to be the hardest part of what we do. Is changing some of the sounds. Now, if you have music to watch, just go to rhythm preset 7 and save it to a preset, because that's what you want. So if you've got music to watch, we don't have it. Yeah, so you want to just go to music to watch number 7. That's the one that I just actually would like to have that preset put right here. For those of us that don't have it, we have to do some extra things. We have to go to red orchestrals and change the genius sounds or the sounds. You're going to change both of these to a vocal do, number 384. Do you remember how to do that? You go to your keypad, you do 3, 8, 4, dial it in. Here it is. It's on your fingertip. And you're going to put it in orchestral 1. There it is, vocal do number 384. Then you do it again. 3, 8, 4. Here it is. And you're going to put it in Genius 2. Now on the A organs, yes, you want to push them both at the same time and make sure that upper on is the only command. All right, we're not going to spend tons of time on this, but if you can't figure it out, go find your nearest PA. They're more than happy to help you.
Dawn, excuse me.
Yes, Connie.
Okay, you mentioned My Love 8-Beat or Music to Watch. Either one of those?
Yeah.
And then we don't need to do these other things that you have in A2?
Correct. No, you're
Oh.
going to want to, you're going to want to do a couple of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's going to give you this preset sound like right off the bat.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
But yeah, I think I would try doing all the rest of these things.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Why are these here? Why do I have so many things here? To get you to learn where they are.
Mhm.
That's the reason. Yeah. It says Orchestral Genius 1 or Orchestral Genius 2. Correct. Yep. All right. Your upper tabs. You're going to turn on the vocal ensemble and your upper genius. You're going to change the sound to number, how come it says 440? Oh, because I did something goofy here.
410.
410, yes.
Yeah.
It's extra solo best 2. That just gives the vocals a little more percussion. Now, these are suggestions. How many vocals do I have now? I have 4. I have 2 vocal dos, a solo best, and a vocal ensemble. I got 4 of them combined. So all I'm doing is trying to make one that I think sounds pretty good. And I don't use a lot of strict vocals. This is the only song that I've ever done where I've used just total vocals for the whole song. So I could probably spend another 6 months at it and come up with a couple of different things that might even be better. And so might you. This is part of the thing. All right, so once you start doing that, then you also want to do lower tabs. You have a lower tab. Now, where do the lower tabs go? or your lower sounds, where do they go? Your chords. If you have lower, or you have lower over here, or you have lower tabs, these go to your lower chord. Your lower chord. So if you're doing a lower sound, I added a guitar electric strat to some strings that were already on. Why? To give the chords a little more pop. You can hear it. You can hear the pop. Okay? It just gives it a little more clarity. That's why I did that. All right? I know I'm not going quite in order. I also wanted you to turn off your Orchestra Plus or your Style button. We're going to just leave on the Genie or the Basic. We're going to simplify the background a little bit. Now, when I have levels on here, I have levels. Every organ is different with levels. You have to use your ear to figure out, does it balance or not balance. For those of you that have like the balance button, it's a lot easier to balance just using a balance button. So if you've got Fanfare, Journey, Inspire, you can just use the balance button and do some balancing. If you don't, we sometimes have to go over to the graphic mixer, and sometimes we have to go into the very first feature clear that says levels, and then all the separate things, that's all just volumes. That's all that is volumes. So these might work for the Imperial, they may not work for another organ. So you have to find where they are, because I want you to know how to get to them, and then see if these work. And if something doesn't quite balance for you, call me or email me or go see your favorite PA and we'll fix it. Because every organ balances differently. So levels and graphic mixer are nothing more than, well, Kelly, watch out the cables. Nothing more, I don't want you to fall over, than volume levels for different parts of your organ. That's all it is. Don't be afraid to go into levels, because it's going to say organ solo. That's all these. And they're already all done for you. If I turn organ solo blue and scroll, upper theater, upper sound effects, upper harmony, upper genius or sound, scroll again, lower theater, lower genius. They all have their own volumes. And that's all this is. Some are in the graphic mixer. Some are in the feature clear levels. That's all it is.
Dawn,
Uh-huh.
would you touch the volume ensemble on the marquee to the right?
Try it. See what you think. Yeah.
It's right by, it's under that wah-wah thing.
Vocal ensemble. Yeah. Just, yeah.
It's under the wah-wah button.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Now I'm also transposing down 3 steps to A. Why? Because I want you to find your transpose. And the second reason is, when I played it, the association had really super high tenor voices, and I didn't think I wanted them to be that screechy. So I lowered the transpose so that they would be a little bit more nicer in that range. So I just lowered them down to an A. I didn't want to make them so low that they got muddy, because I'm using lots of harmony on them. But I did transpose down to an A. Transpose is, we use transpose for a number of reasons. A, if you've got a singer that needs to sing a song in a certain key, you can change your organ up or down. B,
Don,
you've got an instrument out of range. Yes, Connie?
No, it's John.
Oh, it's John. I'm sorry, John. Go ahead.
Real quick question. Since we're using a transposer, would you suggest transposing it in A1 so that introductions transpose down too?
Everything is
Or
going to
no?
be transposed down, yes.
So you'd have to do it in A1 then?
We're not, yeah. Well, you won't have to, no, because it'll already be done in A2.
Okay. Oh, but I mean, like, you're playing your introduction in A1.
Yes, but we're going to do A1 after we do A2.
Okay. I
So
missed
it'll
that. I'm
al-
sorry.
So it'll already be transposed. That's actually a very good question. I am going out of order for a reason. This is the first part of the song, and so this is the longest one to set up too. Once you have it set up here, it's set up for all the rest of them. You're just going to make
Right,
little
I
changes.
noticed that.
So if you're on a smaller instrument, you want to find a good rhythm and you want to find some vocal sounds that are going to sound pretty for you. That's what you're looking for. Find the Latin. You might want to bring your style button down a little bit so you don't have so much going on in the background. And then come over here and find some vocals. You might even want to combine vocals and strings, or vocals and organ sounds, like a solo organ sound. That could be a pretty sound to have. Or a jazz organ will give you a little bit of that pop, pop that you're kind of looking for, that percussion. So try several things. Your job is to find the right rhythm. The second thing is to find the right sound. All this other stuff is just to get you to find stuff on your instrument. Find where they are. All right, once you have all this stuff done, you can play it and see if you like it. So this is A2, and it's that first part of the instrument. We haven't done anything. We haven't done any memorizing yet. Now we're going to test the waters. Let's see if it sounds good. Yeah. So now what we're going to do is we're going to save it. And this is the part that we never have time for in our regular classes. So how do I now save all this fabulous stuff that I just did? It's actually not that hard. And Robert and Jerome, they actually did a sheet. You may already have this. If you don't, I'm sure they would let me borrow it. I'm not taking credit for the sheet. Also in here, Jean McDonald has done a sheet that's even a little bit more in detail, but it's basically the same thing. And if you need that in front of you so that you can go step by step, do not hesitate to ask one of us to get these sheets to you. Yeah. Sherry can use one of your sheets. So now, the first step is set up the organ the way you want it. Aha, we just did that. Now, how do we save it? We're going to pick a bank. I'm choosing the A bank, but you can choose whatever bank you want. I'm choosing the A bank. I like to keep things nice and neat, nice and orderly. You're going to press memorize, touch it, and what's it going to say in the window? Now the window's going to come up and it's going to say memorizing 2. Which one did we just set up? We just set up
2.
A2. So we're going to touch A, and then we're going to touch 2. Now, if they're lit up already, you don't worry about it. You still have to touch them again. They're not going to light up if they don't have any lights on them. You have to look in the window. It'll tell you memorizing 2, preset A2. And then it'll say with style, with transpose. Make sure you touch both of those. You want with and with, or yes and yes.
Why do I do that?
Both of those need to say yes and yes. Okay? Questions so far?
Why do I have to do that, Dawn? The with transpose.
Yes, you do. You have to do with and with. If you don't do with and with, you're only saving the sound that you put up here. You have to save it with the style. And we transpose too, so you want to make sure that that transpose button gets touched.
I understand.
Because that's going to save everything that we did. So again, it's memorize, letter, number, and do the one that you just set up. And on the sheet it says A2, so we're going to set up A2. Yes, yes. Now we're going to turn our memorize button off. And it'll say in the window, memorized 2, preset A2, and then that window goes away. So as long as it's in the screen, you're still working on it. So make sure that you turn that memorize button off. That's what finalizes and puts it into A2. Okay? Now I promised this whole lesson was going to be about saving presets. You just got the lesson. That's all it is. It's so easy. It is so easy. If you do it once or twice, you're going to say, oh, okay. But that's why I like to include it in a song, because it makes the learning process so much more fun. Now, how do you want to set up your song? Let's set one up. Let's do it. Okay, now I'm going to go backwards and do A1. Why? Why do you think I'm going backwards? What did I have in A1 that was so different? No rhythm. No rhythm. Huh. Uh-huh, no rhythm. So I backed it up. Now, don't touch A2. Leave everything right where it is. This is the problem that a lot of people, oh, I'm going on to A1, so I'm going to touch A1. Don't do that, because you just erased everything. You didn't erase it. You just cleared the board for what you want to work on. You always want to work on from the one that you just did. So you memorized it to A2. Don't touch anything. Don't touch A1. Don't touch A3. We work off of the one that we just finished. So A1, what do I want to do? I want to go to category preset because I wanted a guitar. So you go to category, and I did number 2, acoustic guitar. And then I went up here and turned off my music style. No Latin, bye-bye. Turn it off. And then when you turn that off, what else happens? Bass goes off, Genie goes off, the memory goes off, MCS goes off, and so does the easy button go off. So now you want to go back in and turn the easy button back on. So all you have is the easy. And there's that beautiful F6-9 chord. And the second chord you're going to do is an E flat major 7. And those are the 2 chords you're going to use for the intro. So it's F6-9. You don't know. This part you don't have to do. This is totally optional. Totally optional. And then the E flat major 7. Totally optional. You don't need that at all. Now, once you figured it out, now what do? Save it to A1. So it's the same process. Memorize A1 with yes, style and transpose. Both of them say yes. Then you go back and turn the memorize button off, and you're done with A1. Questions? Can you see why I went backwards?
That was out of numerical sequence. And it's okay to do that. You save A2, and then go back and do your A1.
Right. Now how am I going to go on to A3? Well, what does it say under A3? Press A2 because you want to work from A2 to go to A3. Yeah. You want to work from A2, so you want to press A2, and work from that. Now you do what it says for A3. Okay, so here we go. For people who do not have presets, you have A3 written on your sheet, right?
Dawn, may I ask you a question?
Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, you've done A2, and then you went to A1, and it's okay now to start with A3.
You don't press A3.
No, you press A2 first.
Correct, because we're working from A2
That's what I
to
thought.
move forward to A3. A1 is basically a total option.
Okay,
You don't need A1 at all, really. You can start with A2. You don't need A1. That's just the introduction with no rhythm. All right, so now we're going to press A2, turn on. This is what, if you do not have any presets, this is what you write next to A3. Add duet. That's it. Go to your harmony and add the duet. After you've pressed A2, you add the duet. Upper harmony. That's what it is. Yep. And then you save it. You save it to A3. Memorize A3. Hello? Oh, it should be right on the desk. Yes. Okay. Memorize. Touch A. Touch 3. It's going to read in the window. Lights are not going to come on, but it's going to read in the window. With and with style, with transpose. And then you turn your memorize button off, and now it's in A3. Now we're going to work on A4. Don't touch A4. We're not there yet. You got to set it up first. We're working from the previous one. All right, where is A4? It's at the end of the first ending. What are we going to do? We're going to turn on your Orchestra Plus or your Style button. It just depending on which instrument you have. The A organs, it's the Orc Plus. It's over on the left-hand side. The E organs, it's the Style button. And you're going to change your upper harmony from duet to barbershop. Now, if you're on a smaller organ, 3-part, 4-part, just or regular AOC. It's underneath the more. It's in your, yep, hit more and it's going to be in your screen. And they're all going to be there. So then you touch the barbershop. What does barbershop harmony do? This is the lesson. What does that button actually do for you?
4-part.
Yeah, it gives you a 4-part harmony, and one of them actually goes higher, doesn't it? Because the yep, I've got a barbershopper sitting right over here. Yep. So once you have that done, and again, if you are on a smaller organ, you just hit AOC or 4-part or just something that's going to give you bigger harmony. And then it also says turn on Orc Plus. Well, if you already lowered your style button a little bit on the smaller organs, you can just raise that style level up so that you have more stuff going on in the background. And that's not for you. Nope. And then, once you have that done, you can play it if you want. You can play that A4 section if you want. And so now it's going to sound like this. Just got big harmony. Big harmony. And more stuff to balance with that big harmony in your background. And then you just save that to A4. Memorize. A, it's not going to light up. 4, that's not going to light up either. And if it is already lit up, press it again, because what you need to do is read it in the window. Memorizing 2, A, 4. And then you, with style, yes. With transpose, yes. You want all that in there. And then, nope, correct. Correct. And then you turn the memorize button off. And then that finalizes it and the screen goes away. So we can go through this whole sheet. At A5. A5 is at the end of the second ending there. Before we go into the bridge, what are we doing? Turn off that orchestra style again. Now you're going to change your harmony back to duet. And you're going to add a golden harp. What if you don't have a golden harp? You don't worry about it. So if you're on a smaller instrument, you just want to put your style volume down a little bit and change your harmony back to a duet. If you have a golden harp, it's the perfect opportunity to find out what your golden harp can do. Because does it just do up, down, or does it do different patterns? Different patterns would be a stepping pattern, or a virtuoso pattern, or just up, or just down. All of these patterns are a little bit different. And then, if you want, you can change the sound. In the original recording, it's actually bells, but to put bells in there didn't give it enough sound for me, so I put in the ukulele. Number 111, and that's real easy too, because you just go to your keypad and you dial in 111, And it's right there. And where are you going to put it? You're going to put it on your golden harp sound or genius, and it's going to be there. Now, how does that sound? How does that sound? All right, I'm on page 2, line 3. Hear it? So that golden harp just gives the bridge a little bit of difference. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. You don't have one. See me after class, right? Absolutely. See me after class if you don't have one. All right. Page 3. Now you're going to go to A6. And A6 is on a no chord. So what are you going to do? You're going to take off your golden harp. You're going to turn on the altar style. Now, if you don't have an altar style, what are you going to do? Don't worry about it. Upgrade. No, don't worry about it.
See your favorite PA.
Yes, see your favorite PA. That's right. Upper harmony. Change it back to the barbershop. You want that great big thick harmony. So if you're on duet and you've got a smaller instrument, AOC 4-part or 3-part trio, whatever is going to be a little bit bigger than duet. So if you just pick one thing, write it where you have A6. Just write it down, okay? You're doing presets. This does not apply to you.
Dawn, excuse me, I'm sorry. I can you rewind the tape a little bit? Take off the golden harp, turn on, and I missed what you said.
Altar style.
All style. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Thank
Turn
you.
on the altar style. Turn off the golden harp. Change your harmony back to barbershop. This is designed to get you to learn where your buttons are and what they do for you. Now, did we finish doing everything for A6?
Yes.
Yeah, so now we have to save it. How do you save it? Memorize. Touch A. I don't care if it's lit. Touch it again. Touch 6. I don't care if it's not lit. You don't care. You have to touch it again. A6. It'll show up in the window. That's what you need. It'll show up in the window. Memorizing 2, A6. Always double check with your window. Do not trust these lights down here. And then you're going to touch with, or yes and yes. Touch them both. Then you come back. You turn your memorize button off. And it says memorized 2, A6, and the window goes away. Okay, so it's a fairly easy process, but it is a computer, and the computer's logic is not always the same as ours. So we just have to have patience, and we just have to do it slowly. I know I sometimes go too fast, and then I mess up. So do it slowly, and just read your window to make sure that it's always there. And then the next thing is to play it and see if you like it. Play it and see if you like it. There's that no chord. Okay, now we're at the top of the 4th page, A7. A7. What are you going to do at A7? Transpose up 1 to B flat. That's it. So it's a 1-button push. But if you're doing the presets, you might as well put them in because it's easier to just kick your foot and go to the next preset. If you have a smaller instrument, that's all you have to do then is transpose up 1. I don't care if you started in the lower key or not. If wherever you started, transpose up 1. You need to find out where your transpose is and what it does for you. It just creates a nice arrangement. It gives you a little boost. So now if that's what you did, you found your transpose, you went up one, then you're going to save it. Memorize. A7. With and with. You notice I do the same things every time. Every time it's the same things. Then you turn your memorize button off and it's there. Don't go too fast. Just keep it nice and slow. I know Connie can do this in 3 minutes flat. She's good. But this is just how to find these things on your organ. You're learning the buttons. Where are they? And then hopefully you'll come up with a nice arrangement so that you can play your song. A8. What did I do at the end of the song? A7, what am I going to do? I'm going to play that I'm going to actually, let's go from A6. I'm going to do a no chord, and it's going to transpose up on me. Or you can do the bumps if you want. Bumps work just as well. All right, now when you're going to finish until you get down to the last line of the song on page 4, and that's A8. You're just going to turn off the music style again, turn your Latin off, turn your easy button on. You still want that barbershop harmony on because that's going to give you that last beautiful final chord, that beautiful harmony at the end. And you're going to put where A8 is, right where that quarter rest is, you're going to put 2 lines and write the word stop. Now it'll stop if you have it in a preset and you're going. All I have to do is kick over to, I just turned everything off. Go to A8 and it'll stop for you. All right, now if I'm going to do that,
where, Dawn?
where the quarter rest is, A8 is the last line of the song. That's all it is.
I understand.
Because remember, if you play that G note for Cherish is the, but you don't have any chord, you're not going to use, it's a no chord over that Cherish is the. Do a no chord. And Cherish is the. If you don't have a chord playing in the left hand, you're not going to get any harmony here.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that'll just give you the single note. And the minute I play a chord, I'm going to get this massive, fabulous harmony. Oh, that is so sweet. Mm-hmm.
So you said the no chord is at A8?
Yes.
Okay.
You just want to play Cherishes though with no chord. If you just kick over to A8, you've already turned off everything here. So
okay.
you're on nothing. So you don't have to
Okay.
play anything until you get to that F6-9 chord.
Mm-hmm.
No, a no chord will keep the drummer going.
Mm-hmm.
Or just kick over to your next preset and it'll automatically stop for you. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, I've got a naysayer here. Oh, this is getting too hard. No. Okay, questions. Questions. Joanne. Joanne wants to know, how am I moving in the song from A1 to A2? Okay, 2 ways. Your finger. You can actually just physically reach up and touch when you're ready to go. Or you can program your foot switch to the right to move to your next preset. Those of you that have a custom 3 button, if you touch custom 3 down here, it will bring up next preset, and it'll say you can put it on your touch bars or you can put it on your foot switch. Custom 3. Now, if you don't have that, go into there's a second way to find it, and then you want to touch right foot switch, turn it on. If you don't have that, and we'll check yours because I've got this journey back here. go to your feature clear and scroll until it says next preset and see what it says. It should bring you to the same thing. It should give you the options.
Dawn?
Good question. We'll do, yeah, okay. I just had a question here in my studio audience. How do I now save this to either my stick or my disk, or if you have a fanfare or a journey, you're going to save it into your bank? How do you do that? Once you have it here, it's nice, but guess what? If you want to do another song, you either have to go to the next bank, and then if you have them all full, then what do you do? See me after class? No, no. No, this is a question I can answer. No, this one. You take your device, and you put it in. If you don't have a device, you're going to go to the bank, and I'll show you how to do that. But it's super easy. It's the same process. You put your stick in now, because now we are going to save our work. Okay, now that everything's in there, we're going to save our work. We may not like it next year. We can redo it. We'll talk about that too. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to your screen, and you're going to touch USB. When you touch USB, you get all kinds of stuff. Load presets, save presets, rename, delete, format, all this stuff. I'm very upset that they put load and save right next to each other. You have to make sure you touch the right one. So I'm going to touch Save Presets. And I've got a lot of stuff on this stick, so it's going to take a little bit of time. Accessing USB files. Okay. Hurry up already. We close at 6. All right. Now, I've got all kinds of presets on here. Tons of them. So I'm going to scroll to the first blank page, the first blank file that I have. The first blank file that I have is number 58. So I'm going to touch it and turn it blue, and then it's going to show up in the window, preset group name. Now you can name it. You can name it Cherish, or you can name it whatever, your concert, or whatever you want. And how do you name it? You've got a cursor. You've got a line, the arrows make that little line go backwards or forwards, and that's the letter that you happen to be working on. If you want something to be capital, you touch uppercase, and now you scroll, and it will scroll to the letter you want. Yep, it's all in the window. It's all in the window. Yes, ma'am. It's going to come up in the window with uppercase, preset group name, and then you can rename whatever you want. Or you can just name it preset group 58 or whatever number you're on. But you really want to name it.
How many songs can you put on a USB? I guess it depends on the size of the USB.
250 on this, yeah. Now, yeah, and it depends on how much you're putting into each song, but it holds a ton. Now,
Yeah,
I
I
am
know.
going to caution you on your sticks, 2 gig, 4 gig, 8 at the top. Don't go
Dawn?
any higher than 8 because it's going to take forever to read it. As small as you can find for your
Dawn?
stick size. Yes.
This is John.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was actually on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to get 512 gig or 512 meg
Uh-huh.
USB ports,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
I got 250 songs on that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
So maybe that answers
Yep.
Joanne's question.
250 songs.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I
Yep.
know. Yep.
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 So
And
they do hold them.
then when you're done naming it, or just leave it preset group, whatever number you're on, at the bottom it'll say save. And make sure you touch the bottom of the screen for save. And it'll say saving presets. And then it'll be on your stick. Yeah. Now, on the bank, it works exactly the same way. You just want to go to your bank, and you want to save your work to the first file in your bank. That's all you want to do. And it's the same process. Now, if you don't have a touch screen, you have to do your letters down here on the keys. You're done. Once you hit save, it's here. Pull it out. You're done. It's all here. You can take it with you. You can bring it to the store and show me what you did. Yep. You don't want to hit load. Now, how do you get it back into the organ? First of all, if I shut the organ off, this will all still be here. It's not going anywhere. How would I lose it? I would lose it if Sue Kelly comes over to my, oh, she's got a different organ.
No, it's me.
Yeah. If Beverly would come over to my house or to my store and say, oh, look at this, I got something really cool to show you, and she puts in the stick and she hits load. If she hits load, she just loaded something from her stick into my organ. And if I had stuff that I forgot to save, guess what? It's all gone.
Oh my gosh.
Or if you get a glitch, if you've got a lightning glitch or an electrical glitch, that can also take these out. So you want to save early, save often. If you only had time to do A2 and 3 today, save them. Will they still be there tomorrow? They should be, but don't take that chance. If you worked really hard to get them, save them. All right, now let's talk about what happens if you make a mistake.
Right.
What happens if you're like Connie? Connie's gonna go like this. Save with it. Yes. She's gonna be done in 3 minutes flat, guaranteed. Now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Stop
I'll pay
bragging
you
on me,
later.
Connie.
I'll pay you later, Dawn.
All right, so now she goes to play her song, and something in A3 just doesn't sound quite right. Well, if A3 isn't right, then probably A4 is not right either. Probably the rest of them all have kind of glitches in them too. So now, how do you fix one? Go back to the previous. Go to A2, because that should still be fine. If you played that and it was fine, go back to the previous one, A2, and work off of that one. And just go back to your sheet and do it slowly and try to figure out what went wrong.
Oh.
Okay, and then you resave it to A3. Do the same thing for A4. If it didn't come out right, because usually if there's a glitch in one, it's going to glitch all the way through, then you want to go back in and do A4 again, A5, A6, and so on. But don't worry, because you don't have to start all over. You go to where the glitch is, go back to the previous one, and fix it.
Okay.
It's not rocket science, and it's not something that you can't do. Every single one of you can do this. Lowry has designed these to be easy peasy, honest and truly. If you do one or two of them, you'll say, wow, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And not hard. It's not hard. It's a wonderful way to make arrangements and be able to save your arrangements. If you're going to go through all the work of changing things, even if it is a one-button push, wouldn't it be kind of nice to just have it saved so that when somebody comes over and says, okay, Andy, I want you to play Cherish for me, and you go, oh, wait a minute, I need a half an hour to set it up. No, you need 30 seconds to set it up. It's on your stick. You just load in your stick.
Dawn, I have a quick question. When I go to repair that, to fix it, I go to the previous A2 or whatever.
Correct.
And that, now, do I have to do each of the steps in A3 all over again?
You might have to. It depends on what the glitch is.
No problem.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
And then you have to memorize that and save it.
Correct.
And then
It's
done.
once you have it done again, then you want to resave it. Whoops.
Oh,
Resave it
that's
to your
true.
stick.
resave the, okay.
Resave it to your stick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, if it comes up with a glitch again, guess what? It could be that there's a flaw in your stick.
Correct.
And if there's a flaw in your stick, okay, now load it back again. Let's redo it. Let's do it right. Now save it to a different file.
Oh,
Because if there's a glitch in your stick, it could just be in that one little file. Okay?
no, but you don't have to do them things all over again.
No, you don't have to do the whole thing over again. You back up to where it
Okay.
where you
fine.
were good, and then you just move forward from there.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. That's easy.
That is correct. Yes, I just had somebody say that the hardest part of this is knowing where to find my upper harmony, where to find my Orc Plus. That's what this is all about, is so that you learn where these things are on your instrument. That's why I do these. That's why I do these preset sheets, so that you learn where the stuff is. And if you're not sure, my stick is down here. I don't want to step on it. So yeah, this just helps to teach you the buttons on your organ, but apply them to a song. Now, if this is a song that you just can't stand because it reminds you of your ex-husband or something like that, don't play it. Go back to Patreon and find a different song that I've done or Robert's done, and yeah, or ex-wife, yes. Only play the songs that you love. That is the best advice I can give you from now till the end of eternity. Yep. Any other questions? Because we are getting to a point where we're going to have to take a 3-minute break and then
One
come back
more.
and do a concert.
One more. What
Okay.
if you wanted to delete that particular song?
You want to
How do
delete
do
that song? Then when you go to USB, it has delete song.
Oh, okay.
Delete. Now, it also, no, I'm sorry. It says delete presets. Delete song is if you're, I'm sorry, delete, I gave you bad information. Delete song is if you've got something pre-recorded, if you recorded something. The first column says delete presets.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the one you want. Delete presets. And then
Then it
it'll,
won't delete my others, right?
well, it'll take you to your files, and you scroll until you get to the right files, and it will
Okay.
say, are you sure?
Oh, okay.
It will give you some to go slow.
Okay.
Go slow. You don't want to press something and say, are you sure? And then it wasn't the right one.
I would normally do that anyway, because like you say, you would only save the ones you really want to use.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. But save often, and you can resave to that same file. So if you only did 2 today, and then you came back tomorrow and worked on 2 or 3 more,
Mhm,
keep saving them to the same file on your stick,
mhm.
because one will just override the other one.
Thank you.
You can. Andy wants to make a dumb question. No questions are dumb, Andy. Music style. You're turning off the rhythm plus. To turn off music style, you're turning off whatever band. Yeah. If you chose Latin, you just want to turn off the Latin, and it's going to or if you chose music to watch, you just turn off that button, and everything goes off. Your bass goes off, your Genie, your Orc Plus goes off, your memory goes off, and your easy button goes off. So what you want to do then is it'll say turn your easy button back on so that you can play that single fingered chord. Okay?
Mhm.
Good question. Very good
Don,
question.
can I give a little tip? What I did after I like I said, I have 250 songs on the one disc.
Mhm.
So what I did was I know I don't use custom number 2. Okay.
Mhm.
I actually went and I memorized my screen setting to custom 2.
Uh-huh.
And it's real simple to do if you want to pass it on to anybody.
Mhm.
You actually go ahead and hit the memorize button, hit your custom, and then,
Yep.
no, excuse
That's a
me.
different lesson. That is a different
Okay,
lesson, John. But yeah,
Okay.
that's a good lesson. Changing your custom buttons is a different lesson, and we
Yeah.
are over time.
Okay.
So yeah, but no, keep that thought because that is a very good way. I'm glad you're learning your organ because you are pushing the buttons. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Any
just
questions
something-
pertaining to saving the presets or what we did here? Nope. Okay. I am going to hit stop record. All right. And I want to stop